All right, Apple's new iOS 17 update is available to download for newer Apple devices. Every phone starting from the iPhone 10R can download the update. That means iPhones like the iPhone 10 and 8 models are ineligible for this upgrade. It comes just days before Apple's new iPhone 15 is set to hit store shelves, which is Friday. Abrar Al-Hidi joins us now to talk more about this update. She's a CNET host and joins us from San Francisco. Great to have you with us. What's the point? I downloaded this last night, and there's some new features that it's telling me about, but tell me what's new inside this update.
There are actually some pretty exciting features on this. So one of them is standby mode. And what this does is if you charge your phone using MagSafe and you put it on its side, your phone basically doubles as a smart display. So you can see the time, photos, widgets like the weather, which is really cool. You can have just all that information at a glance. Another feature that's really cool is live voicemail. So if somebody calls and you don't pick up, you'll see a live automatic transcription of everything they're saying. So you can know whether it's probably a good idea to step out and take that call. And then another feature that I'm really excited about is transcription for audio messages. I think this will probably be used against me because if you're like me and you send a lot of voice messages to friends and they don't want to listen to you, they can just see a transcription of it. So that'll be cool.
I love that, actually. You know what's interesting is, so I downloaded this overnight, and as I'm going through the day, pulling up other apps, it's telling me, hey, here are the new features for Notes. Here are some of the new features in other applications as well. And some of these are hidden. So help expose that to us, too. Some of them are obvious, but what should we dig for?
Right. There are some really fun kind of hidden things. One of them is, this one is one that I really want to try to use, but sometimes when you have a piece of clothing and it has that laundry tag on it and it tells you how to wash your clothes, but it's all just symbols. So like it might as well be hieroglyphics because you don't know how to decipher
Right.
it. You can use something called visual lookup, and this is built into your Photos app. And basically you take a picture of it and it'll tell you how to wash those clothes. It can also read your car's dashboard to tell you what those symbols mean. So that's kind of fun. Other little things like with Siri, you don't have to say, hey Siri, you can just say Siri. I probably just triggered some people's Siri right now. And then the last feature that I think is really cool is whenever you're trying to log into an account and you get that verification code that's texted to you or emailed to you, it usually just sits in your inbox forever because you're never going to get around to deleting it. Well, now after you use those verification codes, it'll automatically delete those messages so they don't clutter up your inbox.
I love this because each of the things that you've referenced there, it's not really groundbreaking, but it's the small things we do each and every day that now become slightly easier for a company that is still trying to justify the sometimes $1,000 price tag of new devices with the iPhone 15 Pro now about to roll out. Do you think that this is really the Apple of the near future anyway, seeing these kind of incremental improvements of the quality of how we communicate? You know, your voice notes transcription is also speaking to me as well, rather than seismic change?
Absolutely. I think it's those little conveniences that make your life easier, but even features like check-in for messages, which is actually a safety feature where you can share basically with your loved ones. They can make sure that you get to where you're going safely. And if you don't arrive within that allotted time, it'll alert them and let them know where you were and which route you took and how your battery level is and your cell service. So things like that, that really make it feel like this is something that I want to keep buying an iPhone no matter how much that price goes up.
And I want to talk about what you think of the new iPhone 15 as well, because if you're like me, you kind of see the phone and you hear them say, incremental increase in the ability to take photos. The island has moved on the device, but there's nothing really that changes the fact that it's not really a phone anymore. It's a smartphone. I did see a lot of people saying on Reddit comments that they're switching now from Android to Apple's iOS device because of some of the communication improvements. What stands out to you about the upcoming iPhone?
I'm actually somebody who switched from Android to iPhone last year because of those communication improvements, so I'm guilty. But there are incremental changes, but one of the big things is the switch to USB-C with the latest iPhone lineup, and that makes it easier for us all to get along and share chargers and not fight over which cables are better. And that's one less thing to argue about. But yeah, it is those small changes. The ecosystem is really what gets people in. So
Right.
the reason I changed over so I wouldn't get bullied for green texts, and there there are petty things like that, but there are also those small improvements that just make it easier to communicate with so many other people that are already using iPhones.
We are petty people these days, aren't we? I won't
We
talk to you
are.
if your text bubble is green. I will say I opened the music app on the new iPhone and it completely confused me because now it's all jumbled and it's recommending things I don't have, but I guess it wants to get me into the Apple Music landscape as well. I just can't keep up. But you know what, Abra El-Hiti will respond to your voice messages or your transcriptions anytime. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.